The Boston Celtics just pulled off the trade of the offseason, getting Kristaps Porzingis for Malcolm Brogdon. Oh wait, the trade fell through, and the team instead gave away former Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart, who thought that he would retire as a Celtic. Some would call this a panic trade by Boston, but regardless, this move exposed the biggest problem for the franchise. And many believe that if the Celtics don't win it all next year, some serious issues could arise for this team. Despite mixed emotions by NBA fans, let's not gloss over the fact that Kristaps Porzingis is a great talent and fits on this team pretty seamlessly. Although he hasn't been performing his best in recent years, at one point in his career, this man was an all-star caliber player for the New York Knicks. And even if he doesn't reach that level with the Celtics, Porzingis opens up the Celtics game in quite a few ways, which could ultimately be the difference maker that gets this team over the hump and allows them to make a championship run yet again. When fans think of Porzingis, they usually think of a dominant forward that is solid on both ends of the ball, but not many people are talking about his underrated passing and playmaking skills. During his time in Dallas and Washington with guards like Luka Doncic and Bradley Beal, Porzingis developed into a fantastic playmaker on actions like dribble handoffs, off-ball screens, and of course pick and roll. Kristaps is a versatile big with a much better court vision than the average center. Obviously, he's no Jokic, but it's likely that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who each have a lot of pressure to create looks for the team, will get better looks themselves and have less pressure to create for their teammates. Porzingis also takes pressure off the Celtics' two stars in regards to shot creation. Their new big man is no stranger to creating high percentage shots for himself in the low post and bullying his way to easy buckets in the paint. Again, any pressure taken off the Celtics' star duo is a win in the eyes of the franchise. Porzingis looks like he will be a fantastic fit for this team, and after losing to the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, it was clear that the team needed to shake up their roster at least a little bit. But none of this meant that they had to trade away Marcus Smart, who in the eyes of many was the heart and soul of the Boston team. As mentioned, the team wasn't even supposed to trade away Smart in this deal. The original package had the Celtics sending away Sixth Man of the Year Malcolm Brogdon, but after concerns over his injuries, the Grizzlies pulled the plug and left the Celtics scrambling to make a panic trade to get the big man that they desired. The only other option that made sense was Marcus Smart, but this could end up being one of the team's biggest mistakes down the road if a few things happen. Obviously, Smart was one of the most impactful players for the Celtics on the court. Between his elite perimeter defense, spark plug type playstyle, and willingness to put it all on the court on any given night, he was one of the Celtics' most valuable players, but his value extended past his on-the-court skills. Smart was looked at as the leader of this team, being the longest tenured player on the roster and embodying what it is to be a winning basketball player. Smart said it best in an interview with JJ Redick back in 2020. "I play the game to win, and the individual stats will come with it, but for me, it's all about winning. Those individual people who count the stars, that just tells you about their knowledge of basketball." Smart was everything the Celtics could have wanted in a leader, and provided all the intangibles to make the Celtics a winning basketball team. Pretty similar to what Patrick Beverley did for the Timberwolves in 2022. There's no denying that Smart was by far the most loyal player to the franchise, and just like that, they traded him for an injury-prone big man that has seen very little success in the league outside of New York. This is the biggest problem for the Boston Celtics. They don't value loyalty in their franchise, and in the past few years, they've only gotten worse. In the past year, the Celtics offered their franchise cornerstone Jaylen Brown in a trade for Kevin Durant not once, but twice. Up until this point, Brown had been nothing but loyal to the Celtics and wanted nothing more than to make a championship run with the team. But now that Brown saw the truth, there have been rumblings that he wants out of Boston, and even considered losing out on $100 million to leave the Celtics this offseason. Brown will likely sign his Supermax extension because $100 million is life-changing money for pretty much anyone. But him even considering turning down that type of money goes to show that his relationship with the Celtics front office is shaky at best. Smart and Brown aren't the first time that the Celtics have completely disregarded loyalty to their star. Back in 2017, the Celtics traded away their star and heart of the franchise Isaiah Thomas for star guard Kyrie Irving. Thomas, who was believed to be the franchise player, was absolutely shocked and felt backstabbed by this trade. I went through a real-life situation with those guys. It wasn't only just battling on the court. I felt like they went through this situation with my sister passing. They went through that with me. I didn't think where I was at, the level I was playing, that I would be caught off guard with such a big trade. That's what hurt the most. I felt like the relationship with those people who made those decisions was good. I felt like we were close enough to where we could chop it up and we could talk about it, or about what could possibly even happen. That never happened, so I was upset about that. The Celtics didn't even talk to Thomas about the trade, and as you all know, he was never the same player once he left Boston. But what's the problem with this? Most people understand that business is business, so why are these trades or trade attempts a problem for the Celtics? Well, from an outside free agent looking in, all of these stories and trades make the Celtics look very unattractive as a free agency destination. The team is in a great position to win, but they aren't afraid to shop around their star players, as we've seen with Jaylen Brown and Isaiah Thomas, even if the team is performing well. Compare that to a team like the Nuggets, who did not trade Jamal Murray after his torn ACL, who believed that he was damaged goods. And you can obviously see which team a player would rather join. In addition to likely attracting less free agents, the Celtics' lack of loyalty could eventually lead to them losing Jaylen Brown, but there is a solution to all of this: winning a championship next year. Of course, winning cures all, but the pressure has never been higher for this Celtics team. Kristaps Porzingis has a player option next year, and the tension between Jaylen Brown and the front office is only increasing. So the team needs to make a title run next year if they want to guarantee retaining their current roster. But obviously, this is no easy task. There are three main things that need to go right for the Celtics if they want to bring home a title next year, and if they don't, we could see the team blow up next offseason. First of all, Porzingis has to stay healthy for this team. This will be easier for him than normal because the Celtics have depth in Robert Williams and Al Horford that will take pressure off Porzingis and his minutes during the regular season. But if the Celtics don't make any moves and Porzingis gets hurt, this is basically the same team as last year except without Marcus Smart. So their new acquisition needs to step up big and be available for the team at all times. Speaking of Marcus Smart, key role player Derek White will have to step up as well and fill the void of Marcus Smart. The team will need elite perimeter defense, and being that Derek White was an all-defensive second-team player last year, I see no reason why he can't be the guy to step up big for the Boston Celtics. Lastly, and this is the big one, Jason Tatum has to be the guy for the Celtics. We've seen him be that guy before for the team in the postseason, but he has to be the #1 championship guy in every game, no off nights. If all three of these things go right for the Celtics, we could see them lifting up the finals trophy next year. But if not, there's a chance that they lose key players, largely because of their lack of loyalty for stars.